The Trump regime has taken revenge against a group of staffers that warned him that the agency that is responsible for emergency management, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, is woefully unprepared to deal with emergencies. In fact, just 24 hours after signing an open letter warning the president that the agency is heading back to its pre-Katrina days, the employees who signed on were immediately put on administrative leave. The letter, signed by 191 current and former FEMA staffers, was sent to Congress and top officials on Monday, warning that the people now running FEMA are inexperienced, politically driven, and are dismantling the very programs that keep Americans safe when disaster strikes. The writers warn that left unchecked, the agency could stumble into catastrophe. By Tuesday evening, FEMA's administrator's office had fired back with suspension letters. That's right. The employees were told that they would remain in non-duty status but keep their pay and benefits, effectively benching them for speaking out. The letter also cited decisions made by Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem as a reason that the agency could fail to manage disaster response. Now, FEMA had confirmed that multiple employees were placed on immediate leave, although the exact number remains unclear. Of the nearly 200 signatories, only about 36 of them revealed their names publicly, the Washington Post and CNN reported. Now, here's the thing. None of this should be a surprise. No one should be walking around with shock Pikachu face, okay? Trump has been wanting to do away with FEMA for a long time. He's openly said it. Why? That's because he does not want anyone getting help. He wants to condition aid in order to get things that he wants, okay? And remember, he has said that states should be on their own. That said, a FEMA spokesperson speaking to the Daily Beast said this, quote, "It is not surprising that some of the same bureaucrats who presided over decades of inefficiency are now objecting to reform. Change is always hard. It is especially for those invested in the status quo, who have forgotten that their duty is to the American people, not entrenched bureaucracy. Under the Biden administration, the American people were abandoned as disasters ravaged North Carolina." Oh, I've got details on that one. Okay. "And needed aid was denied based on party affiliation in Florida. Our obligation is to survivors, not to protecting broken systems. Under the leadership of Secretary Noem, FEMA will return to its mission of assisting Americans at their most vulnerable." Look, all of that is just, I mean, none of it's true. None of it's true at all. No, no one was denied aid based on their party affiliation under Joe Biden. Okay, again, none of that is true. None of that was true. In fact, what's going on, ironically, is all of that stuff is actually happening now. You see, FEMA is literally denying emergency funds to Democratic-led states. For example, back in April, Trump administration officially denied the state of Washington's request for disaster aid to assist with recovery efforts related to last year's bomb cyclone that killed at least 2 people and damaged hundreds of homes and businesses. What was the reason for that denial? They didn't give you one. They didn't give them one at all. No reason at all. Not only that, but Trump has openly talked about his desire to withhold disaster aid from California for the recent LA wildfires. Yeah, unless, of course, he would, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, would do the things that Trump wants him to do. Okay. And there it is. Now, it's not just blue states, by the way. Thinking about North Carolina, guess what? They were also denied reimbursement for its spending to recover from Hurricane Helene. Pretty ironic, okay, considering that Trump was basically going out and talking about these, conspiracy theories, spreading these conspiracies around, that North Carolina was denied aid from Joe Biden. when in reality, Biden approved aid. He approved aid. The federal government under Biden actually not only approved aid to any state that needed it, and most often it is the southern states, red states, that need federal money. And again, are given it with no problem, no strings attached, because it's not supposed to be strings attached. They're just like, oh, you need help? Here you go. Okay. Not only that, but one of Biden's signature bills, okay, actually ended up giving more money for infrastructure to red states. Because again, they're the ones that tend to need it most. So Biden actually focused a lot on helping red states, and red states turned around and said, well, screw you. We're going to vote for the guy who isn't going to help us. Because that's what's going on right now. So, look, not only that, by the way, Arkansas, another example, they were denied aid that they requested to deal with devastating tornadoes. Everything that Trump claimed that Biden and his FEMA were doing, they're actually doing now. So, I mean, every accusation is a confession with these people. Now, of course, that's basically setting up the next Hurricane Katrina-like disaster to happen. And look, if you can remember, that was so bad. The response to Katrina was so botched that Congress was actually forced to pass something called the Post-Katrina Emergency Management Reform Act of 2006. Okay? It literally has Katrina in it. Okay? Recognizing that their response under George W. Bush was that horrific. Okay? Now, that law added safeguards to prevent another botched response. But you know who's trying to roll that back right now? Oh, you guessed it. You know it. Yes, the Trump administration. In fact, under the Biden administration, that letter, as I mentioned, right? Look, it basically warns that the Trump administration is rolling back those protections and is calling on Congress to intervene to stop them from doing it. Their demands include shielding FEMA from further interference from DHS, stopping illegal impoundment of appropriated funding, because that's something that the Trump administration has been doing a lot, impoundment, and protecting FEMA workers from politically motivated firings. Nome, whose department oversees FEMA, has been under fire since July over their response to the horrific flooding in Texas that has left about 135 people dead. It took them 3 days to mount a response. 3 days. Why? Because, well, Kristi Noem had put in a rule which required her personal signature, her sign-off, on any contract or grant over $100,000. I mean, that creates barriers to aid going out. And I think it's on purpose. Now, at least 2 FEMA staffers placed on leave had been part of that Texas flood response, according to the Washington Post. Jeremy Edwards, a former FEMA press secretary who signed the FEMA Katrina Declaration, said that the number of signatories signifies the severity of this problem. They are that scared of us being so inadequately unprepared. It speaks a lot to the situation right now. And again, I think this is on purpose. This is on purpose. They are trying to set up a situation where FEMA will absolutely fail when it comes to disaster response. I cannot stress how bad this is going to get if we continue on this path. Not only are we as a country wholly unconcerned with the issue of climate change, which is fueling these natural disasters, but now we are gunning the ability to respond in any meaningful way to those disasters. I mean, the death and destruction from these storms or other natural disasters, wildfires, that's only going to be part of the story now. You're going to see a lot more death that will come in the aftermath as a result of the lack of federal government help. And at the end of the day, there would be no one else to blame other than Donald Trump and Kristi Noem. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.